Hey, welcome back to the channel. So this time we're going to do something more technical, looking at using the Visual Studio debugger in a more advanced fashion than what I usually see people doing. So get started with, your code's broken. So you're sitting there, you finished off your stuff, QA has it, and they come back, they report back a bug, and they give you some conditions that, hey, when I do this, this happens. And, lo and behold, your unit test missed it. Happens, not a big deal. Actually, be happy if your unit test caught anything. Getting people to write unit tests, Anyway, so you're sitting there. The usual thing is you jump into the debugger to see what's going on, try to figure out, hey, why is this broken? Here's the problem. Say you're doing something with Entity Framework, you pulled back 10,000 records, and the bug's not going to occur until like 4,000 records in. You're in a for loop sitting there, and it's like you're going to just sit there, hit F8 4,000 times to finally get to see why QA doesn't like your code. Yeah, it's not a good idea. We got a better way. So let's do it. All right, here we are on my workstation. I'm going to bring up Visual Studio. So what I have here is a very, very contrived sample just to demonstrate conditional breakpoints, which is what I want to talk about here. Within this, we have a member variable, should break. We automatically set it to false. Then I have a method, setBreak, that you pass in a value to. And if that value is evenly divisible by 80, we set should break equal to true, and then we return should break. And then within the method itself, or where we're doing all of our work, really all we have here is just a simple for loop that's just looping over stuff, which would be like the condition I was talking about. You've got something where you've queried a database, you get back 10,000 records, and you're iterating over them, looking for something or doing some calculation, and at a certain point, things blow up, and you want to find out, well, what happened? Why is this code blowing up? Well, rather than having to hit F8 4,000 times to get there, actually it'd be more than that, we can use a conditional breakpoint. So let's get started off though. First, we'll just run the app and see what it does. And okay, wow, there is all it does. Just a bunch of dots on the screen. But it works, so we know what we're playing with here. So we go back here. So the first thing we do is we want to set a breakpoint here on line 27. Usually, to do that, you just click over here in this column and you set a breakpoint. To get a conditional breakpoint, we can right-click and you'll see conditions on the context menu. And that's what we're going to choose. And you're given this window. Let me scroll down so you can see more of it. So I'm going to ignore these other things, and we're going to just hit conditions, and we're going to say if count is evenly divisible by 80, we want to activate this breakpoint. So I hit close. Notice now that the breakpoint has a plus sign in it. And that lets you know that there's something going on, and it'll give you the information you need. So you hit play, comes along, and boom, count is equal to 80, and our breakpoint's been hit, and we can investigate whatever we need to investigate from here. So we hit play again, boom, now it's 160, and so on. So that's good to go. So let's hit stop. The next cool thing is I can actually call a method within this conditional. So we right click again, and we have all these others. I'm not going to talk about them. We're just doing conditional breakpoints right now. Oh, good Lord. Excuse the dogs. So again, we'll call set break. We'll pass in the count, and we'll say, we'll say equals true, and that's what we want. We hit close. Everything looks good. Hit play, scrolls through, and boom, here we are, count equals 80. So it's kind of neat. Set should break is never touched within here, or should break is never touched. So by calling it from our breakpoint, you could do things where you could go into your code and look at conditions and then return a Boolean value to use in a breakpoint. So you could kind of put a unit test within your code that you use as a part of your breakpoint, is kind of what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'm not doing a good job of it, but I hope you get it. So anyway, there we are, and because of the way I wrote the code and we reset should break whenever we get here, this works in this case. So we keep doing it, and we keep seeing the stuff printing out. We're good to go. So let's get out of there. The next piece is the way this works. Anything in scope of where we're running can be used in these conditionals. So if we go back here and we say conditions and it says should break or set break, well, I could change it to should break equals true. Now here's a problem with this thing. Should break with the code that's being run, it's always going to be false because it's initial, when the constructor runs, it's set to false, and anytime count is divisible by 80, it gets set back to false. Nowhere in the code that we are going to execute, does it ever get set. So let's take, and we'll just call set break here. Again, it's contrived, bear with me. So we hit run, goes along, and boom. So count equals 80, and our breakpoint is now working. We continue running. Now it's 160. So that is one way to do conditional breakpoints. There's another facility within here. You can say hit count when the hit count equals 80. I want you to break. Close. And there we are. So you can just say, hey, after I've been past this point, go ahead and break. So you can get pretty complicated with these conditional breakpoints, and hopefully it'll help you, solve problems more quickly and not get stuck middle of the night trying to figure out why your code's not working because you're having to manually step by step go through it. That's it. I hope I helped you. Have a good one.